I know you've had your battles with the like of Snopes. Like, have you found this kind of encroaching danger from those who maybe see that satire as harmful, or spreading fake news, for example? Is that tough to deal with?
Yeah, the biggest threat comes from big tech in conjunction with the mainstream media or the corporate press, as Michael Malice calls them,
Hmm.
the corporate press that I think is threatened by the fact that there is a voice that is out there that is not approved by them,
Hmm.
and that they have no control gatekeeping us. They don't control the gates any longer, and I think that does threaten them because they've controlled comedy, they've controlled the culture, they've controlled media and Hollywood and all of that. And so
Hmm.
for us to go there without going through them, it ticks them off a little bit. Um, when CNN was mad at us for a while,
Really?
they were mad at us, and Brian Stelter was tweeting about us, and one of their other consultants was tweeting about us, along with an ex-CIA agent who was very upset at the Babylon Bee and calling us misinformation and all of this. And one of the things that they were upset about was that when General Soleimani was killed,
Yes.
they one of the points they made against the Babylon Bee was that our article about it was shared on social media more times than any other article about the death of General Soleimani. And we're like, okay, so it
So.
was an effective article, right? And they were like, no, it's misinformation, it's false. It's you need to
Hmm.
be reading the New York Times, you need to be watching CNN. That's where you're supposed to get your information, not from the Babylon Bee.
Wow.
So you could tell that's when they get mad, right? They
Yeah.
wouldn't care about us if we were just making worship leader jokes.
I
They
mean, is
care
it
about us because we're talking to the culture, and they can't control that.
is it coming from a good place in your opinion? Do they do it for the right reasons, or are they trying to censor you for that reason of control that you were talking about?
Well, let me put it this way. They never cared when they think it's funny when people mistake, the Daily Show for real news, or
Yeah.
or when people get fooled by the Onion. They think it's hilarious because
Hmm.
we find tweets from these same people, like Brian Stelter, saying, "Oh, the Onion, it's so funny," "Oh, haha, people thought it was real. That's so funny." When people mistake satire for reality, it's 99% of the time it's not the fault of the satirist. It's the fault of reality for being so close to
Hmm.
it, or the person you're satirizing. It's like, if you actually thought that Democrats lowered flags to half staff for the death of General Soleimani, then maybe that's an
Yeah.
indictment on Democrats.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. It's your own fault, really. Yeah,
Yeah,
for being that gullible.
right.
So CNN were mad at you guys, and then how did the whole the Snopes tried to censor you for saying that you were then promoting fake news? Is that right?
So Facebook contracted out their fact-checking um, functionality to Snopes for a while, and
Hmm.
that relationship has since ended. But while that was happening, we were getting constantly flagged, and one time we got a message saying our page was going to be deplatformed and demonetized
Mm.
because we shared an article that said that CNN bought a giant washing machine to spin the news.
Yeah, I read that one.
That was the
Oh
article that
no.
they said we're trying to fool people with. So that just shows you how serious these
Yeah.
fact checkers are.
I mean, I don't personally understand how people can see that as anything but
Yeah.
humor. Like, I really don't understand.
Yeah.
I just
I've
don't
still
get it.
they've never produced a single person that actually believed that. I don't think. I've never seen evidence of it. So
And for that to be considered fake news is kind of disturbing that they
bizarre.
even, I mean, are humans doing this? Is this just AI that's trying to flag these things, or are people reviewing this?
Well, Facebook definitely has AI algorithms that flag certain things based on keywords and such.
Hmm.
They look for things that they know are hoaxes going around or that they don't want
Yeah.
spread. Um, but yeah, most I think of the ones that get fact checked are human, sitting there clicking. And Snopes definitely is run by humans that go, oh, a lot of people are fooled by this one. Let's fact check it. So I have no idea why they fact checked that washing machine one.
Even just saying it is making me laugh. That
I know it cracks
I
me up
can't get
every
past
time.
it. I can't get past it. Um, so what then, in your opinion, would be if the Babylon Bee was shut down? What would be the kind of negative impact on the world? Why would it be a tragedy in your opinion for that to happen? Because some people will say it's just, oh, they're just poking fun. Then what's the real value?
Yeah, I mean, well, just from a principled perspective, any site that gets shut down, I don't want the Onion to be shut down.
Yeah.
I like the Onion, and I like the fact that you can see somebody's perspective through humor and through comedy. I follow a bunch of satire sites. There's one for the military called Duffel Blog. There's one written by feminists called the Reductress. There's the video game one, Hard Drive by Hard Times. And it's so fun to see this wide array of people from different backgrounds and different areas of interest that are writing satire. Even when I disagree with it, or I think they make a stupid point or whatever, they hate me. So, they think I make a stupid point half the time. So, but I don't want any of those voices shut down, because I think that makes our culture less rich, that we can't hear from a particular voice because some elites decided that we shouldn't.
Yeah. Do you think that's a Christian point of view then? In your opinion, is that a faith-based argument in terms of, do you think we as Christians then have a right to promote free speech? Or because I know a lot of people that would say that Christians have a job to then almost censor things and to make things cleaner and to make society more polished and rounded. But what do you think then, we have a faith-based obligation to enable free speech?
Yeah, well, I don't think those things are necessarily contradictory. We can say on a personal level, like, I hope the Babylon Bee makes society more Christ-like in a lot of ways. Like, I hope it elevates that level of discourse, and I hope it impacts people to where their minds start to change and their hearts start to change. But from a government perspective, from a state perspective, I don't think that that's necessarily something we should be pushing for, is that the state go in and tell everybody exactly what to believe and what to think. So, I mean, and I think if you just look at the history of free speech and who pushed for free speech, it comes from a very classically liberal Enlightenment era roots, that stem from a Judeo-Christian worldview and perspective. So I do think free speech is a Christian idea, and liberty is a Christian idea that on which America's built our society and Western civilization has been built.